Hi, today we're going to make a pen. It's going to be slightly different to the standard pen. We're going to use a standard slimline kit, but we're going to use this replacement brass tube. We're going to cut this to a different length and do a slightly different style pen. So first thing we did is make some sketches of what we're going to do. So and we can just see those sketches of working out the right dimensions for the slightly different pen that we're going to make. And here's the pen kit. Here's the extra brass tube, and we're going to use this diamond cutter and a Dremel to cut it to the appropriate length. In the standard kit, you get various parts in these really awkward little plastic bags. So we'll just tip all that out so you can see. So what have we got? We've got two of these pen tubes, 52mm each. We've got our refill, we've got the mechanism, we've got the end cap, we've got the tip and the center band and the pocket clip. So we're going to use most of those parts apart from the 52mm tubes to make this pen. So let's get down to cutting the tubes to a different length. Right, let's mark this tube. So we're going to first mark it at 64mm. Just use our calipers here to make a nice mark. So that rather than the standard 52mm, we're going to use the same overall length, but we're going to do 64mm for the main part of the barrel and just 40mm for the upper part. Now this mark isn't showing up very well, so I'm going to use a Sharpie so that I can see where it actually is. Looks like it's there. We'll just draw that mark all the way around. It's not very good doing it this way, but at least I can see where I'm going to cut. And then we'll set our Dremel on a fairly low speed, and it doesn't really matter about making a terribly neat job of this, as we're going to trim it up afterwards. There we go. It's not a terribly neat end, but at least we haven't squashed it in too much. We'll trim that up on the sander when it's inside the blank. Now we need a second one that's 40mm, so we'll adjust our calipers to 40mm and mark this at 40mm. And again, I'm going to mark it with the Sharpie because I can't actually see where it is very well. So let's cut that off. Used a slightly higher speed that time and that cut it off much better. So now we've got our blanks suitably cut. Might just trim them up a little bit with a piece of abrasive paper or file. Let's have a look at I'll just trim the inside, so I don't want any swarf on the inside at the end. There we go, that's that one, that end done. This has got cut in both ends, so that's that done. Do this one. There we go. Just get a little bit of abrasive and just run it around those. We're going to need to rough these up anyway, so we might as well do that at the same time, and then the glue will bond better. Done. And that one too. So I guess the next job is to have a tidy up and
let's
prepare our wood plank.
Take this pen out and go up here and have a look, see what we can find. This is some of my timber. This is mostly laburnum. This bit's here. That looks just the job. We'll cut this interesting piece off the end and hopefully we'll make a nice pen out of this. Let's just put our bandsaw there for a moment and set the camera over here. There we go. We'll just cut this end piece off. We only need a short piece of it, so this should be plenty. Cut it about there. We'll save this piece for some other project in the future. Maybe I'll just trim this other end up. Oh dear. Sometimes the wheel just doesn't do right. Feels like, you know, my bandsaw blade is broken, so that's a bit of a job for sometime later on today. Let's just cut this off with a handsaw. There we go, so we've got nice clean cut both ends now. Right, so here we are at the lathe. We're going to turn our blank, we just rough turn it before we drill the hole in the middle. We'll do that between the centres, so we'll use our 4-prong drive centre and bring the tailstock up. There's no need to be terribly accurate about the way we align this, so let's just stick that on there and bring the tailstock up, lock him in place, just tighten that onto the prongs. This is a fairly tough piece of wood, so I might have to tighten it up again in a little while. Bring our tool rest into position. I think we'll use a longer tool rest because that one's not quite long enough for this job. We've got the lathe on a fairly high speed because we've been using it for pen turning, and just to do this it's not worth turning it down, so it should be okay. We're going to use roughing gauge just to take the stands around. More or less round now, but we'll change over to my favourite oval skew and just tidy it up before we take it off and drill a hole. There we go, so that's a pretty good round. We've still got a bit of a wormhole there, but I'm sure that will go as soon as we start to make it into a pen. So we'll take it off the lathe and go and drill us a nice hole. We only need this blank to be long enough to fit our pen tube, so we've got plenty of wood here. Let's mark it just here a few millimetres oversize, and then we'll cut it off and drill our hole. Just carry that mark on around the piece. No, this needs to be terribly accurate. Well, I've broken my bandsaw blade and I haven't fixed it yet, so I think I'm going to have to take a bit of a break while I cut that up. See you again in a moment. Okay, so now we're ready to drill a hole. We've cut the black spare bit off the blank. This bit's the part we're going to use. We've got a 7mm drill mounted in the pillar drill here. We're going to use the vise to make sure we've got the blank in an upright position. We'll use the hole we used for the centre and the lathe, and away we go, drill this hole. We'll have to go in and out a few times to clear the swarf. There we go, nice hole through the centre of the blank. We can now glue the tube in there, and we'll be ready to start turning. Right, so we've now got some medium viscosity super glue, our pen tube which we've already roughed up, and what we're going to do is put some glue on there and push it in. Then we'll leave it to dry for a while. Super glue is wonderful stuff for getting on your fingers. Right, let's go again. So oh yuck, now it's all come out all of a sudden, so we'll put plenty of super glue on there, and we'll use the cap to push it inside, turning it as we push it. We need to get it. It's not gone down. Okay, the glue's dry now, so the first thing to do is to just sand the ends down flush with the brass. It won't be much of a sanding this end, as the brass is almost flush already. This end there's a way to go, so let's do that. This is a little anvil. It's got a V groove in it, which is nice to use to hold the workpiece at 90 degrees to the sanding medium. So here we go. I'll take this while I'm sanding it, just as an extra means of getting it square. It's not looking so much right at the moment. Just a little bit more. There we go. Now you can see the brass shining where it's been cut down to, so that end should be more or less right. I'll just give it one more quick turn. Sorted the bandsaw out, so now I've sawed a bit off the end, so it's in a suitable state to do the sanding on this end now. Just about 1.5 millimeters to remove. So here we go. Good. Right, to the lathe then. I've decided to make the top part of this pen from Corian, so this is blank I've got that I've already drilled, and here's our smaller brass tube, so that's going to go in there. So I just need to glue that up and stick it in. Should have done this before, really. Just see if I can do this without getting loads on my fingers. Well, that's nicely in there, but I'll drive some out and fit the mandrel. So this is the pin turning mandrel. Goes in now like so. We've got little spaces that go on there. Now looking at the grain of this, I don't really think it matters too much which way around we have it, so we'll pop that on there. Obviously got a bit of swarf still in the hole there, see if we can clean that out. Just clean that handle piece and as well. Feels okay there. Let's try again. There we go. So that's going to be the front part of the pen. And then we're going to have another spacer, like so, and then we'll put this bit of Corian. But before we do that, we need to let it cure and just sand the ends down to make the brass tube so that's the right length. Should have picked it up again really. So and then that will go on just here, and some more spacers and a nut to go on the end to hold it all tight. So I'm going to finish my coffee, and hopefully by the time I've done that the Corian blank will be cured and I can sand the end of it. You've seen the sanding at the end of the wood, so it's the same process, so I won't do a separate bit of shot of that. Okay, I've now sanded the ends of this Corian blank, so we can mount that up on the mandrel. Looks like we're a little bit stiff there. We'll put a couple more spacers on and a washer and a thumb screw to hold it all tight. Now that's nice and tight, and then we'll bring the tailstock up and just tighten that in there, not too much or we'll bend the mandrel. Tighten that up, we're all nice and tight now and ready to go. So let's put the tool rest in place. Just check that it's all clear. Yep, that's fine. Our hole doesn't look as though it was quite straight through the middle. It's very tricky to get the hole perfectly straight, but with a big blank like this it doesn't really matter too much. So I'm going to use my favourite screw chisel again. So let's do some turning. I may need to just touch the edge of the chisel up that to make it cut a little bit better. you can see we're now getting some of the darker wood becoming evident. It's a lovely piece of grain there. Probably we're going to have the darker wood most of the way around by the time we finish turning it. We've still got quite a little bit to take off there, and obviously we've got to round the Corian too, so let's do a bit more. Right, I've zoomed in a bit so you can see the workpiece better. We'll carry on turning. to me. So the next job is to have a bit of a vacuum up here, and then we'll do some sanding. Just had a little problem with the camera, so let's start this again. We're going to sand all the way down from 120 grit to 1500 grit, and hopefully we'll get a nice finish. So we'll start off with 120 grit. And before we do this, we're going to set up a little fan here to just blow the dust away, so we don't. There we go. Turn it on. That's just going to blow some air across there and keep the dust away from the so 120 grit. Have a look. Yes, that's coming on nicely. I've got a little bit of a mark just there.
Where would she have got that from?
Just had a bit of an interruption there. The dog had escaped with a roll of kitchen towel, so hopefully we can get back to it now without any further interruption. So let's see. Here we go with this is 360. Yeah, this is 360, but this is a fibre-based abrasive. So let's. This is 1500 grit. That's looking quite nice now. Look at that bit of a rub in the opposite direction. over with a damp towel. That's looking good. Now we're going to be using two different finishes here. The Corian will just be polished, and the wood needs to be sealed. And so I think what we'll do with the wood, we'll do it with sanding sealer to start with, and then we'll see how that comes out. So we'll make a little pad of tissue here, get our sanding sealer in shape. Only take a few seconds to dry. Just got a little tiny mark there I'm not very pleased with, but it's too late to do anything about that now, I think. Right, that's more or less dry. I'll give that a quick rub over with this denib it. Give it another coat. That's starting to look very nice now. Now I think what we might do is finish this end with CA glue. Back on that. Get a new piece of fresh piece of tissue. Fold this into a little pad. Okay, see if I can manage to do this without gluing my fingers together this time. Yeah, that looks quite nice. We'll just wait for that to dry, and then we'll give it another coat. We're going to polish the Corian. That's it's not very glossy at the moment, but we'll do it with some metal polish, and that will bring it up nicely. Just wait for the CA glue to dry. We'll just give that a light sand with the fibrous stuff, and then we'll give it another coat. This fan's just the job for when you're doing this, because it keeps the fumes away. See glue smells really horrible. I'm just going to turn the camera off for a bit because that seems to be taking a moment or two to dry. Right, it's now the following morning. This looks okay, so we'll just clean that up a bit and then we'll give it another coat of CA glue. It's looking quite good. Good, we'll leave that to dry for a little while and then we'll buff this Corian piece up, give this a little buff too, and I think then we'll be ready to take it off the mandrel and assemble the pen. So we'll leave that for a few minutes while I drink today's coffee. Right, we're going to buff this up a bit now. I'm going to put some of this metal polish on there and a piece of paper towel and just rub that in a bit, and then do it this bit too, and then we'll buff it up. Be careful not to get it too hot. That's looking very nice. I'll throw that bit away. A fresh piece and just give it a quick wipe over, make sure we've got rid of any residue. And then I think we're ready to assemble the pen. So release the towel stock and remove our spacers and just wipe the ends over. Looking good. So now we're going to move over back to the drill press and assemble these pieces and make a pen. Right, so now we've got our pieces and we've got the pen kit, so let's assemble the pen. This is a pen press I made, so it's got a lever to push the parts together. This is adjustable, so first thing to do is to put the tip on the end of the barrel. So this fiddly plastic bag. There we go, there's the tip. That wants to go on this end of the barrel like that. And this, I don't know if you can see this very well. See if I can move it around there a bit. So this press has got various positions for doing the different bits. So you need, this is not a standard kit, so we need to find the best position for doing this. I think that should just about work in that position. So we are in the and got my fingers in the way, so you can't really see what's going on here. You need to be careful to get it aligned correctly, not like that. And then we can push on the lever and it will push the parts together. There we are, the tip assembled onto the pen. Oh, that looks rather good. Next we need to assemble the mechanism into the pen barrel. That goes in that way, and as this is a different kind of thing, I'm not quite sure how far we'll need to push it in. So we'll need to do a little bit of experimentation to find the right, that's not going to work, find the right position. I think we're going to have to do that this way. We need to make sure we get the parts aligned straight, and then we can push them together. I'm not doing very well at this today. There we go. So that's now going into the pen barrel, and what we need to do is test it with this, with the refill, to make sure it goes to the right position. Now I know that's not going to be far enough in, so I'll press it in a bit further. Do it a little bit at a time. I think we're going to have to move to the next position of this because that won't reach. Make sure we've got it straight. Oh dear. So this is very stiff, and I've broken my lever again. I'll need to repair that. So we'll need to find an alternative method to push that in. Okay, now after a great deal of effort I've managed to insert the mechanism in there. The refill goes in there, screws in, and you can see that the mechanism just works right and pushes the refill out of the thing. So the next job is to insert the little ring on. Take him out of there and just slide that over there. There we are. And then we need to insert into the Corian part. So let's just have a look at this. I think we need to go in this end. So we'll assemble those together like that, and they need to be pushed into there like that. Pen press is broken for the moment, so I'm going to try and do that with this. It's rather awkward because the pen clip is it's longer than the insert. So that's not going to work because it's not central. I need some kind of spacer. There we go. So you can see that's pushed it in there nicely. And all that remains is to push that onto the end of the uncompleted pen. Rather unusual design. We'll take some more pictures of this in better environment so you can see it better. So that all turned out rather awkward to do, as I'll break my pen press, but I'm sure that'll be another exercise to rebuild that. Thanks for watching.